كل فعل يراد به التقرب إلى الله عز وجل وهو خلاف السنة فهو بدعة ضلالة.
Muslim parents, today they chase the dunya, they chase this Western dream. I call it the Western dream and the Western lifestyle because this is where it comes from. This godlessness. That you don't have to worry about the tomorrow. You don't have to worry about what's going to happen in the grave, what's going to happen at the moment of your death. Forget all of that. You just chase this dunya, this dream, the Western lifestyle. You want it for your children. So you seek it through secular education. And you regard secular education the most important form of knowledge. Because that to you means gathering wealth and attaining status. That people look at your car. People look at your clothes. People look at your social media profile. Your latest image at the latest restaurant or your latest watch. Or your latest hairstyle. It's all about perceptions that people have of you and how much wealth that you can flaunt in front of others. And parents want that for their children. The goal that they have in mind for their daughters is that university degree. And then marry a man who has a similar that similar degree or that similar education that she has. A man with wealth, regardless of his religious observation, regardless of his aqeedah, regardless of his manhaj, regardless of his piety, whether his wealth is halal or haram. These are the expectations that many of us raise our daughters with. Today, we seem to elevate university education as the highest objective, even though that certificate in most cases is worthless. The man who comes and fixes your plumbing gets more wealth than a man with a certificate or a degree from a university. Why? Because he's got real skill. He knows how to fix your plumbing, fix your boiler, build your shed. But the thing that the people want is this university degree. That's the greatest objective. To graduate. To get the graduation photo so you can put it on your social media status. Hang it in your homes as a badge of honor. This is what makes your parents proud. This is their greatest achievement in their children. So in pursuit of this, they send their daughters and they send their sons off to university campuses. After, of course, securing a riba loan. A ribawi loan. Interest-based. 20, 30, 40,000 pounds by the time they have graduated. Paying interest upon that. So before they've even started work, they've got a mortgage on their shoulders. From one of the most severe sins in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, riba. They send them away to these campuses. And even when you go to Muslim countries, we eagerly see parents, even in Muslim countries, wanting to send their children to the West to pursue that higher education and that career. The result of all of that is that when your children return home, they return home each vacation worse than they were the previous occasion. So regardless of these signs of regression that we see in our children, mom and dad are proud of daughter and son. Proud. My daughter's doing medicine. My son's doing dentistry. Sometimes parents, you ask them, what's your son doing at university? Don't even know. Could be doing gender studies. That you can learn in 15 minutes on a YouTube video. But they'll spend 4 years doing it, 3 years doing it. They don't even know. He's at university. What's he doing? Don't know. But they're proud nevertheless. They don't care that their daughter's hijab is slipping away. They don't care that their son is trimming down his beard, maybe even shaving it off. They don't care that their daughter has become, after her second year, mutabarrija completely. No hijab, no khimar, nothing. No jilbab. They don't care that she has become the attention of the eyes of men who want to take her as a girlfriend. They turn a blind eye to all of that, my brothers and sisters. They tolerate all of that because they've been deceived. Muslims have been deceived in France, in Germany, in Holland, in Belgium, in Britain, in Sweden, in Norway, in Denmark, in the US, in Canada. These are the ones, these nations and other than them, that they put in front of your eyes this Western lifestyle. And in the end, they spend years and years and years. You see a man in his 40s, what you doing? Still paying my student loan. Still paying his student loan. How old are you? 47. How old are you? I know people in their 50s that are still paying the student loan. Riba. What did you achieve? Nothing. You look at the neighbor's a builder or a car mechanic, he's got a better job than you. And he prays in the masjid 5 times a day. But you did something because you wanted the Western lifestyle. As parents, we have an obligation upon us of responsibility. The result of all of that is that we lose our children. Parents tolerate all of that. Why? Because they've been deceived by the West and the Western lifestyle, Western values. Do you hear the adhan anywhere in the West? Anyone calling you to pray 5 times a day? You could spend days, well, you could spend weeks in this country and you could never hear an adhan. No one calling you to pray and worship Allah. Imagine saying that to someone in a Gulf country or in a Muslim land. That I could live for 4 or 5 years and never hear the adhan. But yet people will stow away on a ship or a container or on a lorry to get into these countries. Why? Because of wealth. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said, it is not poverty that I fear for you. Rather, I fear that the wealth of the dunya will be opened up for you, will be expanded for you, the luxuries of the dunya. And you will compete for it just as it was opened up and expanded for those who came before you. And you will compete for it just as they competed for it. And it will destroy you just as it destroyed them. And you see them, how many people, how many dozens of them die every month trying to get across the Mediterranean Sea, trying to get across the English Channel. Why? So they can get what? So they can get what? Become a Deliveroo driver? Deliver pizzas? For what? Because they have this image in their minds of this Western lifestyle. That's why parents in Muslim countries can't wait to send their children to Western universities. This choice, because it is a choice that parents make, that they come to regret it